Are you ready for the Lenormand revolution? Let's go.
Let's go.
An interesting thing about the Lenormand Revolution deck was, inside here, it was never meant to be a hard deck. It was never meant to be produced. Carrie and Roz created this as an app, or they were creating the artwork to create an app, a Lenormand app. So this deck, we're kind of lucky that it ever got to our hands. The first ever production was only 200 decks. Think about that, just 200. And Carrie and Roz weren't actually sure that it would become anything. They made the deck thinking, oh well, we'll sell a few, may take a while, let's see what happens. And they sold out in 24 hours, all gone. So the Lenormand revolution was actually quite a revolution to Carrie and Roz, because they did not expect it to happen. They didn't expect it to be a deck, they didn't expect it to sell so well, and they certainly did not expect the warm feeling that everybody got with this deck, and how it's spread, and how everybody wants one, how everybody, if they don't have one already, is probably going to the website right now, which will be beneath in the comments. Anyway, let's move on to the cards, because that's what you want to see. I'm slowly going to go through each card and discuss. Clover, ship, la maison, my French is rusty, the house, tree, it's a bit slippy on here, clouds, snake, coffin, le bouquet, la four, the scythe, the whip, les oiseaux, the birds, l'enfant. As you will see, I have already taken out my extra cards, and I have the ones in that I have chosen. At the end, I'll show you the extra cards too. Mr. Bear, les étoiles, the stars, stork, lovely dog. The Tower card is the storming of the Bastille in France, which was the flashpoint of the French Revolution. Le jardin, the garden, le mont, the mountain, le chemin, the path, the lovely little mices that eat away at things, the heart, ring, the book, letter, man, lady. I've chosen the two that point at one another, lilies, sun, moon, key. The key card is a card that once held prison doors shut in the Bastille. It was gifted to the first American president, George Washington, by his longtime friend, the Marquis de Lafayette. Washington considered the key to represent a global surge of liberty and a token of victory gained by liberty over despotism by another. Fish. Dum dum dum, my favorite card, the anchor. The anchor is connected to the ship card. Both images are from the Boston Tea Party in 1773, a political protest where British tea was thrown into the Boston Harbour to protect the British Parliament's tea tax on tea. No taxation without representation, the British government responded harshly, and the episode escalated into the American Revolution and the cross. So Carrie and Ross chose images that come from a revolution or are somehow connected to revolution, and each card has its own story. I like the story of the woman and the man card. They were chosen as Napoleon and Josephine. There is the connection between Lenormand and Josephine in particular. She was an advisor to them in a card reading capacity, of course, as well. And so it's nice that this deck actually brings in the Lenormand history, Mademoiselle Lenormand, and that of Napoleon and Josephine. And interestingly, Josephine's first husband was killed in the revolution. So it all comes together. So the man and the women card, the extras, the first one is Molly Pitcher. Pitcher, water carrier, think of that. Molly was a water carrier, hence the name Pitcher, at the Battle of Monmouth in 1778. Her husband was killed during the battle, and apparently, as he was carried off the field, Molly took his position, the cannon. Carrie wrote an aside in her email to me that quite likely she went ballistic after her husband being taken off the field. But these little things is nice to add to the cards when you're laying them, because these are things that you can actually imagine or gain more of a connection with your deck. The extra man, who actually looks a lot like George Washington because of the wig, his name was Pierre Augustin Caron de Beaumarchais, an inventor, watchmaker, playwright, musician, diplomat, and spy. He was a libertarian and against the constraints of social privilege. He played his role in the French and American revolutions by secretly funneling money and aid to the rebels. What I love about this deck is that the third extra man and women are very important. The third lady is Mademoiselle Lenormand herself. And the gentleman is J.K. Heshton. If you don't know who he is the creator of the Game of Hope, where our lovely Lenormand progresses from. It's a lovely touch, and if anybody doesn't buy the deck just because of that, they're crazy.